Imagine spending millions on, like, the most sophisticated predictive maintenance tech, hiring the absolute brightest planners, but your team is still running around with their hair on fire every single day. Why?
Because, well, you are missing the operating model.
Right, exactly. So today, our mission for this deep dive is exploring what that actually means using Johan Norty's framework, the operating model. And, we should clear something up right away. This isn't some dusty corporate document sitting on a server somewhere.
No, not at all. It is a living system. It dictates how physical assets actually deliver performance safely, reliably, and, cost-effectively.
Because you can implement these world-class maintenance tactics, but without a governance framework dictating who does what and when.
An organization just inevitably remains totally reactive.
I always think of it like the transmission in a car, right? You can have this massive engine like those world-class maintenance tactics and great tires, but without a transmission to govern how that power connects to the wheels, you're just revving in neutral.
That's a great analogy. The operating model is that transmission. And that transmission consists of three interdependent pillars. You've got people, process, and systems and technology.
The classic three-legged stool.
Exactly. And when operations lack this structure, the failure patterns are surprisingly consistent. Departments become heavily siloed, where maintenance and production actively work against each other.
Which means schedule compliance just plummets.
Yeah, and most alarmingly, safety incidents spike because unplanned reactive work is inherently unsafe work.
And the biggest failure point usually happens in that people pillar, right? Specifically around accountability. Like when you have the wrong people in roles or no one owns a task, the gears grind to a halt.
They really do.
Yeah.
The process and the tech, they can't save you. The whole operation crashes right back into firefighting. Unclear accountability is just a fatal flaw.
I mean, in corporate environments, you constantly hear things like, reliability is everyone's responsibility. But my experience is that when everyone is responsible, well, no one is actually responsible.
Right. And the framework cures that ambiguity by applying the RACI matrix. That's responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. The golden rule here is that only one person can be accountable for a specific outcome.
Wait, isn't that just like adding more corporate bureaucracy? Slapping another acronym on a spreadsheet doesn't actually force someone to do the physical work differently?
You'd think so, but it does when it's applied to actual governance events. So take their Hackley scheduling meeting, for example.
Oh, the classic meeting. That could have been an email.
Yeah, exactly. But it is the single most important cross-functional event where production requirements and maintenance workloads are reconciled. Usually it fails because a dozen people attend, they talk in circles, and no single person owns the outcome.
Right. Everyone updates each other, but no actual decisions are made.
But when you apply a RACI, you force ownership. The engineering manager is designated as accountable for the approved schedule. The foreman might be responsible for chairing the meeting.
So the ambiguity is just eliminated because one specific person has to deliver the result.
Exactly. But, fixing the conference room dynamic is one thing. Translating that accountability to the actual factory floor or the mine site, that requires integrating the production strategy and the service strategy.
Meaning they can't operate independently.
Right. The model introduces a principle called operate for reliability. This reveals that production operators, not just the maintenance crews, they directly dictate the lifespan of the equipment.
Because of how they run the machines daily, right? Like, if an operator is constantly pushing a machine past its design limits just to hit a production target?
The best maintenance plan in the world is completely useless. They are actively burning out the asset.
Which really exposes the human element in all of this. Even the most technically sound operating model fails if leadership doesn't actively manage the cultural shift required to implement it.
Yeah, it really does.
So if an operator's daily habits dictate the machine's lifespan, the obvious question is, how do you get a veteran operator to change habits they've had for, 20 years?
That's where the 80K change model comes in. It stands for awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. It's not just a list of buzzwords, it's a very specific sequence.
How so?
Well, you can't just train someone on a new system, which is the knowledge part, if you haven't first explained why the old system is failing them, which is the awareness part.
Oh, I see. If they don't understand the why or they don't have the desire to change, the training just goes in one ear and out the other.
Exactly. And even if they have the knowledge and ability, without reinforcement, meaning leaders actually rewarding the new behaviors and correcting the old ones, the workforce will just revert to what they know.
They just go back to their old habits. So the operating model relies entirely on human behavior change to take effect.
It really does. Good engineering alone just isn't enough. You need the organizational discipline to execute it.
So for you listening, the operating model is the vital governance structure that makes technical methodologies actually work in the real world. Without it, your transmission is shot and all that engine power goes absolutely nowhere.
Well said.
Which leaves you with this final thought to ponder. If implementing an operating model relies entirely on changing human behavior and breaking decades-old habits, are the most valuable people in your industrial facility actually your engineers or your psychologists?